A lot of people don't realize how easy it is to fly out of Tijuana, so I wanted to make this short video to show it to you. You park on the US side, walk across the bridge, and next thing you know, you're flying somewhere in Mexico and you don't even have to go through customs when you land. In this video, I'm breaking down the full process so you know every step before you go, and you can see what I did in Mexico City in the video linked in the description. We started by taking an Uber to CBX, known as the Cross Border Xpress, which is south of Chula Vista, right on the border. So we're on the California side right now, parking, and then we're gonna head across. If you park a car here, I saw prices ranging from $20 to $45 depending on how close you were to the terminal. The Cross Border Xpress has been open for about a decade because they noticed that people were already crossing the border to fly out of Tijuana, and so they wanted to make it an easier process. And once you walk inside, you'll note that they have check-in counters for the different airlines, and you can ask questions and get them answered before walking across the bridge. We were just flying with a carry-on, so I can't tell you anything about that, but the next thing you need to do is secure a ticket to cross the bridge. If you're going both ways, then definitely do the round-trip ticket, as it's $55 or $35 each way. And then once you have your ticket, you'll just follow signs towards the Tijuana airport. You'll have to show it a few times, and then you'll actually have to scan it before you can access the bridge.
Now you can put this away because you don't need it until you get back.
Once you make it to the bridge, it's about 400 feet and it's completely enclosed, and as you're walking it, be sure to note the sign.
As you're going across the bridge, you can see this sign right here, and this is when we're crossing from the United States into Mexico.
I thought it was cool that they had a little sign here to note the border crossing, as it's just a fun spot to take a photo.
I have to say, this is incredibly easy so far. We'll see if that continues.
And then as you finish crossing over the bridge, you'll reach the customs area, which of course you can't take any photos or videos in. I think this is probably the most difficult thing about the Tijuana airport is knowing how early to arrive because of customs times. I'm sure probably sometimes it takes 15 minutes and sometimes it probably takes a couple hours.
Made it across the border. It took about 45 minutes to check our passports, so do note that. And now we are in the Tijuana side of the airport.
After officially making it to the airport, it's just like any other airport. You go through the normal security process, check out what gate you're at, and then go explore.
We have made it, but we are now delayed. I'm guessing it's because of all of this fog. It doesn't look like there's a lot of planes taking off right now.
For us, this fog was the biggest issue with flying out of the Tijuana airport. We actually ended up being delayed around 5 hours, and I read that this happens at the Tijuana airport about 13 to 14 days a year, as that's when the fog's so bad that it can affect the flights. In terms of what's available at the airport, there was a Subway, there was a taqueria, there was a Shake Shack, and there were actually multiple Panda Express and Starbucks locations in the terminal. There's also a small section with shops and a currency exchange area, and then of course there was a Crocs shop for some reason. Oh, and there was also 2 Johnny Rockets locations, which I have not seen in a long time. I also thought it was cool that there was some art from Dia de los Muertos there, but they're actually taking it down while we were there. I really liked how this airport didn't feel too big and it was easy to get around once you were in it, and there was lots of different options for food. The last thing that I want to note is that there actually is a lounge here that's accessible to Priority Pass members. It was actually a pretty nice spot with lots of places to relax and lots of different seating options. There is even a play area for children if you were traveling with children, and everything was ordered via a menu system and brought by a waiter, and I just got a cup of coffee. Before ending this video, I wanted to show you what it's like to ride on Viva Aerobus, which is one of the low-cost carriers that flies throughout Mexico. I mean, you can even find tickets on this airline without baggage, of course, for less than $200 round trip. And after 5 hours of waiting, which was not the fault of the airline, but the fault of the weather, we were finally boarding. I will say that the boarding process seemed to take a lot longer here than it does on most airlines I fly on, but overall the experience was pretty good. The seats were sparse but comfortable with no amenities like plugs or screens, but I paid $20 for an exit row seat and it had a ton of legroom for me. Also, there's no free drinks or food, which is to be expected with this price, but they do have a lot of things for purchase on board if you want something. Here's a look at the menu of what they had for food and drinks when we were on the plane, and note that it's in pesos and the exchange rate was 18 pesos to $1 when we went. After a quick and uneventful 3 hours of flying, we arrived at the Mexico City airport and followed signs out to where we could pick up our Uber. The best part about crossing the border beforehand is that you don't actually have to go through customs when you land, so it's very easy to walk out, and if you didn't even check a bag, you can basically go directly to your car. If you want to see what we did in Mexico City, check out the video in the description, but I did also want to show what it was like to return back to the United States through the Tijuana airport. Arriving back to the Mexico City airport, this is the one that's close to the city, not the one that's further away. We arrived at our gate. This time we were not delayed, and we got on the plane and got those same extra row seats we had before. After 3 hours, we landed back at the Tijuana airport, this time at around 10:30 at night, and then followed signs for the Cross Border Xpress.
If you bought a round-trip bridge ticket, be sure you know where it is when you're going back over.
There was a sign that noted how long the border crossing was currently taking, and then we followed signs to the United States, including going back across the bridge.
And here's the sign to note that we are leaving Mexico and we are entering into the United States again. Just like that, we have made it. Welcome to the United States.
I do have global entry, so that might make it a little bit faster, but that was the fastest border crossing I've ever done. From the time the plane landed, before we even deboarded, to getting out of here, it was about 30 minutes total. Hopefully that showed you how this airport works. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.
It's hard to say that this would be worth it from someplace like Los Angeles because it would be a direct flight, but if you live in somewhere like San Diego, this is a great option. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll see you on the next one.